Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the lobby for Infused versus Ascendants in this second game of the best of 3 series. Ascendants just need a little bit of time before they're ready, so we're going to have a quick overview of what's to come from this week and the results, that what they mean, and the week next week, Group B, all of the guys playing there. So we'll bring the brackets up on your screen and we'll have a look at this week so far. As you can see, Choke Gaming went straight through, qualifying through 2 wins against Ascendants previously, and then Team Infused. They win out the grand final there, going straight through to the MCM. And then Ascendants beating Grey Warwick. Grey Warwick unfortunately going 0-2 rather in this tournament. Ascendants now have a bit of a climb on their hands going up against Team Infused, who are looking to infuse their place in the MCM.
You could also say that Ascendants are looking to ascend into the giddy ranks of the final 2 in this tournament. It's going to be Ascendants on the blue side against Infused on the red side. Could be the final game we have here of Group A. We'll be back next week, even if it is on a Monday and Tuesday nights at 7 PM again, so make sure you stay tuned there. I'll be here, you'll be here. We might even be wearing jumpers again. It'll be exciting.
Potentially, I might even bring a golf club just to
stick. A golf club?
Just to stick next to me, and then maybe wear a golfer's hat.
I thought you were going to hit me with it. No, don't hit me, Xandro.
Why would I do that? I mean, the way the relationship goes is I'm loving and caring and nice to Sona, and then I just get bants and dank memes in return.
Memes. Come on, dank memes.
I'm sorry, I'm just not dank enough.
Who would pronounce it meme when you could pronounce it meme?
I said it some weird hybrid in between.
Meme. It was like you were trying to think of a month that should go between May and June, and you're like, oh, we'll have May in between the two. It's like a double May. Some people would like double May. People like spring. Spring is cool.
I have no idea what's going on, but we are into picks and bans right now between Ascendants and Infused, and LeBlanc being banned out, Hecarim banned out, Riven also banned out against Chunky, which does mean the Nunu is still available should the Infused lineup choose to go down a similar path. Azir and Nidley being banned out, a very similar set of bans that we've seen previously, but it won't be Sejuani being given to Vale, and no Hecarim going over to Chunky either this time round.
Yeah, no. What was that? So no Riven going to Chunky or no Hecarim going to Chunky?
See, he complained at me. He complained at me last game.
I was playing Tab Titans in my mind.
No, you weren't. You were reading Twitch chat.
I was. What does Sona at Weed mean? I'm so confused.
I'm not reading Twitch chat. I don't have a clue.
I'm so confused. You usually read Twitch chat during the game. I have to direct the camera. All of those missed first bloods is always due to me.
Yeah,
so Zizzle in the top lane has got the first pick here for Ascendants. Who are they going to lock in? There's a few strong champions left open. We saw Vale play Vexai in the last game. Was okay. Vlad's still open for Harpath Thor as well. Azir has been banned away, so they can't pick that one up. And it's going to be Gragas here on Zizzle.
Going to be Gragas and Zizzle. That could actually go over to Damnation on support, but more than likely we've seen them play that from the top lane or from the jungle. Vale has played Gragas jungle a few times around, so don't discount that. Again, Gragas is one of those flex picks. If you pick it first, it doesn't give too much away. But if I were to hedge my bets, I'd probably say it's going to be Gragas jungle.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, Damnation, of course, can take it into support, as you were saying. Wawa's played that recently as well. It looks like it might be an Annie-Kalista bot lane coming out here from Infused. They've hovered over that Kalista early on, and Toaster and Wawa do very much like that twin synergy in the bottom lane.
They wanted that the previous game, but they couldn't.
At least it worked out all right for them. Actually, no. Nunu worked out all right for them, and then the rest of the game sort of went okay from there. And
they've got Annie and Kalista now, so...
Yeah. So that's what they're going to pick. Unless the Annie's like you're tang-fasticking at the audience. What even is that?
It's a dinosaur.
Is it actually a dinosaur? It looks more like a crocodile to me. They are dinosaurs.
They are. I mean, I guess crocodiles are descendants of dinosaurs, aren't they?
Well, no. Like some of the crocodiles we have around in the world today have been in that same species has been around for 3 million years.
So I know more about physics. You know more about biology.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
I'm always been good with the biology. Practical anatomy, my specialist subject, boys and girls. Zizzle has locked in that Gragas. It looks like it might be a Nautilus hit. Harpath Thought going for that one. Damnation, of course, has played the Nautilus a few times. How do you feel that matches up into the Kalista Annie matchup in the bot lane?
Yeah, I mean, again, you're looking to try and get onto Kalista as early as possible. You want to try and shut her down with the heavy amount of CC that Nautilus provides. The thing about Kalista now is she's had that wind-up speed on her passive.
Yep.
had that wind-up speed on her passive has
What are
been
you
reduced
laughing
by... I laugh when you laugh, because I know what you're doing. And then the wind-up speed on her passive has been reduced by 33%, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit more difficult now to consistently dodge. That's probably needed a change for her. She was an absolute monster when
Yeah,
she got
really,
rolling
really
with
strong.
the attack speed. So
The fact you could rush Ruin Ends and still have enough damage in lane as well.
yeah, it wasn't even the damage; it's the
Yeah.
fact that you were almost untouchable,
Yeah.
so you could stack the rend more
Rend,
easily.
rend,
It was
rend,
like a you didn't gain direct more damage, but because of the fact you could dodge out a lot of things and just circumnavigate your way around team fights, you just stack that rend more and more. But yeah, I mean they're maybe looking to go aggressive onto Chunky, but having Zizzle having played AP Nautilus previously, let's not count out that could actually be AP Nautilus and Vale picking up the Gragas.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, AP Nautilus really didn't work out that well for them in the last game. It was like he was okay, but he didn't really do much. I would have preferred something like a Maokai in that top lane or a Sion, someone who's got a little bit more pressure, a little bit more oomph.
Early lane, definitely.
He lost out to Chunky early lane.
Yeah, no. Early lane, he did well because he got the ganks from Vale.
Oh, yes.
He picked up the kills early lane, but Chunky still won it out because it's Hecarim, picks up that Triforce at the same time that he got rid of Aegis. Obviously, the bigger power spike is going to be for Hecarim. I'm just going to check that. Is that a Shen and a...
It seems to be a Shen Shyvana. Now, we have actually seen earlier today Shyvana top lane with Smite, which would be... I would be really interested in that because you get the double Smite, you get extra lane pressure, but I don't understand why you'd have you'd have Shen and Shen would go into top lane.
I'm just double checking if any of these are proxy picks because they could obviously not be proxy picks.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And we did see earlier in the challenger scene today the TP teleport. Oh, sorry, Smite
TP
teleport.
Smite, Shyvana.
Yeah,
But
TP teleport, doubles teleport, boys. What?
Double teleport on the same champion. Dun,
WTF
dun,
2 teleports.
WTF 2 teleports. But I was just saying actually, I shouldn't have said they'd take Shyvana into the top lane if this was what they were picking because you take Shen top or Shyvana jungle. It's meant to be Fizz, but my team are dumb.
So they take the Shen.
We're getting to it.
Ulfrin doesn't own any champions apparently.
So is it Fizz Shyvana?
Fizz Shyvana, yeah.
assume.
So I think that's Shen is definitely not on the cards. Shyvana probably is, but yeah, we saw previously the TP teleport. Shyvana having TP teleport on Chunky right now makes me think that is going to be Shyvana going with TP teleport. You go for that Stalker's Blade, just trying to duel in that top lane. Against the cannon, it's maybe even might even be beneficial to go to Chilling Smite, maybe.
Yeah.
Just because you need the ability to chase him down.
Yeah.
You're not going to be trading in a melee format with a cannon, but it really depends. So I think this is going to be Cannon top, half-past Thor mid, Gragas jungle, and Nautilus support.
Okay, I'm sorry. Cannon top, half-past Thor mid.
Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Yeah, Vladimir.
You associate them automatically.
I went because he's played Vladimir so much. I just went in between.
And there's no flipping way in League of Legends you pick up Bard at this time, unless you know something that none of the rest of the League of Legends community knows.
I did play against an AD Bard top lane once, but no.
No way.
I don't.
So, what?
Okay, I need to ask again.
What is wrong with this team? Do they not own any champions at all?
I'm just going to double check what Soraka is.
I will gift you champions when I get some RP, because seriously, how do you not have normal champions?
I don't know. I think it could be half troll.
I could be Soraka.
Could be half troll, but I'm just asking what Soraka is. Maybe there's something that we don't know about this. The strong AP Soraka mid versus the Vladimir.
This is exactly what you need at the moment. It's a little fried egg gummy. Is exactly what you need?
I much prefer the cherry.
You're going to pop it?
Maybe.
We are back into picks and bans, boys and girls. Soraka is Soraka as far as we know, so just going to roll through this one really quickly.
We'll see very quickly whether that is indeed Soraka. Be exciting if it is. Be exciting.
It would be very exciting. You know what I love about Soraka? Her ambulance mode. When people are below half HP, it's like, Nino. And we are both very experienced, of course, with ambulances. You being a trainee doctor, you being a medical student, me being basically a trainee doctor now. Week and a half, get my results, boys.
You'll do fine. You'll do fine. I believe in you.
Thanks, man. I will treat your broken heart.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Didn't know I had one.
Well, I'm leaving soon. So. That looks... Just realised how awkward that was. He's got his hands there. His hands are there, guys. ASC have banned themselves out and it's GGG. That was the side of Infuse. It's going to be
I didn't think you realised how that looked on stream.
No, I did not realise at all how that looked. Shyvana Fizz, Casio. to Cassio. Callisto and Annie. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. I'm so sorry.
Did you just swear on the stream as well? I freaked.
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
you definitely
Swear,
did.
boys.
Oh, God.
Here we go. On to the Rift in just 3 minutes.
Okay, well, this is going to
turn.
turn out like the open qualifier
Here
where we
we
just didn't
go.
cast it all properly.
It was amazing. The
It's
open
Cassio,
qualifier
so
was great.
Soraka is Cassiopeia. They just don't own any
You
champions.
see how they've locked in Cassio?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's why I knew it was Cassiopeia.
I mean, I only just saw.
Wow.
Because I was too busy
Not-
just laughing. And
You're not
looking.
paying enough attention.
Well, I neither.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone is at this
exactly.
point in time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be swapping between Chunky's going. I'm sure that's got to be Shyvana top. I mean, I suppose it could make sense. You want to get the auto attacks off his Fizz.
Yeah.
Probably actually could work out with Stalker's Blade as Fizz, I guess. Because you with Skirmish's Blade as Fizz, because you could second. I keep saying second navigate. You could use the troll pole to jump and
Yeah,
get
play
on
for
to top of
trickster,
cannon. Yeah, and obviously then you want to auto attack quite frequently as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be really, really
It's
interesting.
really strange though, because usually the reason Fizz works out so well is you can go through the jungle, get Devourer enchant, get that stacking up, and you do even more percentage health damage on hit. You're doing the magic damage, percentage health from the Urchin Strike. You get the Blade of the Ruin King as well from Seastone Trident. You get Blade of the Ruin King as well, and you do a huge amount of damage. The smite there perhaps wouldn't have been as strong as it could have been.
I mean, yeah.
It's gonna be a teleport on the Fizz.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying it's
Right,
kind of
totally.
quite a long bone to throw out by saying that you want to run the smite on Fizz. The flash is just far more useful.
Don't be getting all with this throwing out long bones, etc. That sounds even worse than some of the other stuff we said today. In my head, maybe I'm making everything awkward now. So you do a little bit of casting. I'm just gonna take a second to take a breath.
Sure. I don't really know what to say anymore. Everything in your mind is. I mean, I think Twitch chat could be correct. I think Sona is secretly in love with me, but it's okay because I love you too, buddy. Don't worry. I'll help you come to terms with your inner feelings. Yeah. Don't worry.
I've just gone. Okay, here we go. Coke, please. Thank you very much. The admins are getting me a nice drink, so hopefully we'll be able to get into this game really soon. A minute and a half is the break, the delay timer before we get into spectate here between Ascendance eSports and Infused. Of course, if Ascendants lose out on this one, Infused will take them 2-0 in this best of 3 and go through. Gaz is coming under the table again, boys. There you go.
Just passing us
Hide the drinks.
a generic drink so Sona can come to terms.
Would you like a generic drink?
I'd love a generic
There
drink.
you are.
Thank you.
It's green.
I'm sorry, guys. We're not actually providing you with an insight.
No,
stream
let's
at
talk
all.
about this a little bit. Shyvana jungle is something we don't see that often, but as much as she works, she really needs to get Devourer stacks off to be effective. She needs to be able to get that Chilling Smite, get Devourer, because otherwise her ganks aren't as strong as someone who comes out of the jungle with CC.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Shyvana is she can very easily farm in this current meta, and obviously it's quite easy to get a significant proportion of gold. Just, there you go, generic drink on stream, guys. But it's very easy to get a lot of gold currently in the jungle, especially as Shyvana. You actually have quite a decent counter-jungling prowess as well, because you can clear camps very quickly. And Chilling Smite also means your ganks aren't as bad as they used to be. You know, there is always the tool through Chilling Smite to allow yourself to come into lane and at least do your best to do as much damage as you physically can. But yeah, Wild Gaz appears.
What about the Ignites in the bot lane? We've got an Ignite on Annie. We haven't got that on Damnation. We've seen him play some very good Nautilus support, but Toaster and Wawa are very, very strong on that Callisto Annie combo when they get to level 6.
Early in the lane, they're going to have to be careful because they'll get dominated by the Nautilus and Lucian. Should they get hooked in early, it'll be very difficult for them to trade.
Definitely.
Neither of these guys spike very well in the early levels. They really need to hit that level 6 to make their combo
Their level
work.
6 is so darn strong.
Yeah, and obviously they're definitely going to be giving Annie the passive, the spear. There's no other option for them whatsoever. So they're going to be looking to use that and exploit that. But we're going to be getting into game very soon, guys. It's going to be the Fizz top versus the Kennen, which is probably more acceptable than the Shyvana top, which could have potentially been the first choice.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing now?
I don't know. In my head, no. Anyway. Ulfin on Cassio versus Vlad. We haven't seen that matchup yet. We've seen a lot of Vlad today. In fact, I think he's been played in every single game.
Almost, yeah.
How do you think Cassio matches up into that?
I think Cassio does pretty well against Vlad. It works in a similar respect to a lot of champions that do well against Vlad. You just look to zone him out. You constantly spam spells. Don't let him get close to the minion waves. Saw it in a similar vein as Orianna.
Definitely.
I guess this Noxious Blast and Miasma is just going to be used consistently to try and push Vladimir away from the minion waves. Try and stop him from farming. Stop him getting to a position where he's going to be spiking quickly. Half-Past Thor again didn't have much of an impact until the later stages of the game, and that was all, I think, mainly due to Ulfrin and how powerful he was with that Orianna. So I expect to see a similar vein of play coming out on this Cassiopeia. A little bit less safe, though. He may not be able to pull off some of the escapes that he pulled off with the Orianna as Cassio, so I'll have to see how that one works, as Wawa has picked up that Black Spear, and he'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, Wawa going to be connected, soul bonded to that Kalista. I like the fact we had so many Soul champions come out in a short period of time. We had the Thresh, of course, Lucian, interaction with Souls, and then Kalista, the Soul Warden, going to be using that Rend, of course, in the bottom lane. Now, Ulfrin, how quickly do you think he can get this aspect of the Serpent stacking up? Because that's such a big thing on Cassio. You need to land those poison stacks. You need to try and harass down your lane opponents. And
I think against the Vladimir, that'll be fairly easy. Vladimir has a pretty short range on a lot of his spells, so they're definitely within range of Noxious Blast, and should Ulfrin be on point and hitting those, I don't think he'll have too much trouble already starting to get a couple of stacks into his belt.
He's on 18 stacks.
He's on 18 stacks, 19 now already, so he's starting that one out. Obviously, you do have to stack up quite a large proportion. You have
500.
500 is the max, so that's 500 seconds of poison that needs to have been put across the board. So that's, I guess, let me divide that by 60. That's 8, 9, between 8 and 9 somewhere.
I think it's 8:20, isn't it?
Yeah, so 8 minutes 20.
Hashtag maths.
Hashtag maths. So it's 8 minutes 20 of the game that someone has to remain poisoned, which actually, when you think about it, is a large proportion of the game.
Yeah, but when you think about the team fights and people grouping up, it's poison per second per person. So you can get a miasma down to her little circle of poison onto a few people, and it will count as a few people. So there's a little bit of an invade coming in here.
Invade and
a lane swap.
Yeah, potential lane swap, or even just putting. Yeah, okay. Legends is going to get a very early harass coming out from Damnation. Chunky going to be doing some work here, but yeah, very early lane swap coming out here from the Ascendants lineup, and it's going to force Chunky to move around the jungle with Gamer's Legend, and that's the red buff having already been taken away. Vale now doing his best job of trying to shut Shyvana down. This is nice play from Ascendants. We didn't actually pick up on that too much because I don't even know what we were doing, to be honest. But
we were talking about aspect of the Serpent and doing some mental arithmetic.
Maths over potential invades, obviously, every time. But nice reaction from Chunky and Gamer's Legend. They're going to go immediately and try and put pressure down on the red buff. And Ulfrin, he has to be very careful here.
He definitely does. Vale comes in, he does flash away. Zizzle not quite connecting with that Thunder and Shuriken, and will just back away. Ulfrin now with no flash. Cassio, not a very mobile mid laner anyway, has to land those Noxious Blasts. Boromir move speed does not have the best response to ganks, and Zizzle and Vale going to come around here. This is actually really well done by Infused, because what they're going to do, well, no, they're not. Okay, still really well done by Infused. They push off Vale and Zizzle. I thought what they were going to do was wait and stand just in that bush for a couple more seconds. Vale and Zizzle would have checked the bush, being like, okay, they're not our red. Obviously, they've just gone to their blue, and then they'd come all the way around and get the gank down. But that's not the case. Toaster just left to free farm that bottom lane while Wawa came up and tried to help out the lane. Subatomic and Damnation going to push past this tower ever so slightly. And there's going to be a 3-man gank in mid lane already. Half-Past Thor reacts very quickly to it. We'll just back away up towards the top side of that river. Yeah,
and Chunky is just definitely lacking on experience at this point. Zizzle has had far more time with Vale to get the experience up. Could be a very early dragon coming down, though. Wow, this is going to be some level 2 and level 1 dragon tactics coming out from the 3 members of Infused, which I think is a good idea for the Infused lineup. It does take advantage of the fact that the lane stop is initiated by Ascendants. Doesn't give Ascendants anything in terms of advantage from that lane stop, and they are just juggling that dragon very nicely. So this should be the first dragon again going over to Infused. And I've allowed a lot of solo experience and solo farm to go down onto Toaster too, but you've got to remember that the rest of Infused will be lacking on experience. They need to start farming this jungle out, and you can already see Vale and Zizzle going again for the invades here, and the difference is that they put a lot of deep vision down in the Infused red side jungle, and Infused don't realize that Zizzle and Vale are doing this, so they probably won't return with their own counter jungling.
Top lane tower taken out there by Ascendant, so they're going to be a little bit ahead in the goal. And looks like they might do a 4-man stack for the inner tower here as well. Of course, that shield not as big as it used to be.
What season are we in, boys?
Yeah, it's the 4-man split push, boys. 5 minutes into the game. It should be down by 9 if they keep pushing this properly. And it's going to be some good pressure here by Ascendants. Did they get that tower?
Oh
It's a big advantage, especially since Toaster was left to farm by himself. I was going to say, yeah, the Ulfrin is going to chase here. Ooh, there we go. Onto Harpastor. Should be able to get away. The Harpastor does still have Flash and Ghost available, so will just back his way away. Noxious Blast not quite connecting. The tower's going to go down 5 minutes 15 into the game.
What season are we in?
Is this LCK, boys?
Is this season 2? I think it is.
Season 2. What we need is a Heimerdinger jungle in this game, and we'll truly be going for that season 2
If Infused don't react to this, they're going to go for the inhibitor turret. This is crazy.
Ascendance eSports with a good, strong push. They've already got some damage down. Gamers Legend's going to get taken low. Subtomic, they get the first blood, and Blue Buff goes across towards Subtomic as well, which is great. But Ulfrin trying to come in for the flank. What can Damnation and the rest of Ascendants do? There's only one tower gone down. Damnation flashes in, gets the staggering blow. He has been ignited though, and there's the exhaust. Ulfrin might go down here. He will. 2 kills across towards Ascendants. They put good pressure on as well, and Toaster and Wawa have had to back away. Yes, Toaster is level 5, but Chunky's still only level 3, same as Zizzle. And they've done a great job here, Ascendants, and now they're going to 5-man stack mid.
Massive
what on
advantage.
Earth is this Earth? Are you just like they feel like they can just push everything?
This is basically season 2 strats where you lane swap and then push that second tier turret, then rotate mid and just gain the advantage because the towers were so easy to take back then. But it looks like they're just as easy to take for the Ascendants lineup here. Infused just did not react to it at all.
Yeah.
Literally just left Toaster in that bot lane. No one reacted. No one had the wave clear to deal with a 4-man push in the top lane. Gamers Legend and Chunky, they're not going to be able to clear waves by themselves, and unfortunately Gamers Legend paid for it with his life.
And there are 3 things you gain from taking towers early in the game. Gold is the first. They are 2,000 gold ahead already in this game, which is absolutely massive. You gain map pressure as well. That entire red side jungle is now a lot more free for Ascendants to go and roam into it to get some good deep early wards down. And the third thing you gain is the ability to slow push out that lane. It's a lot more difficult when there are towers there because it counter pushes really easily.
Yeah.
But now they can start slow pushes and then 2 or 3 minutes later go for objectives.
If they get this mid lane turret, they'll have complete control of the red side jungle from Infused. If they get those deep wards down, they'll start to put a lot of pressure down as well. And Gamers Legend, he has to be so careful.
Oh.
He is so lucky that that hook did not land, because that was actually, to be honest, a fairly easy hook to hit. Taking
the
that
BM for Mixed Scoundrel, boys.
Well, I mean, there wasn't any like
no,
dodge.
it was a fairly easy hook.
You know, if you're going to talk about level of difficulty for hooks, that wasn't the hardest hook to hit.
Probably a 3 out of 10.
Actually, Vale looking to try and take this red buff away. The Gamers Legend is going to react. I don't think Vale can commit. Going to allow Gamers Legend the benefit of his own red buff. Vale maybe wanting to try and steal it, but not going to commit too hard to this point. And Chunky, he's really struggling. He's behind in experience to Zizzle. He's behind about 10 CS, so it's not the end of the world, but he's probably not the safest position right now. He's level 4. He's against a Nautilus and against a Lucian. They're going to push this tower very, very hard, and Wawa having to move down to come and help defend it out.
Interestingly, Chunky's gone for that Glacial Shroud first as well. He's got that little bit of extra armor, which helps against Subtomic, but it's not the way you want to be building on Fizz. Fizz is all about building damage early, Triforce, Blaze doing things like that, so you can shut out the tanks later on.
Wawa's in a very tough position here. He can't clear the waves, because if he clears and loses his stun, that may choose towers
Wawa's going to get hooked as well, but the stun does come up. Subtonic has gone in with Relentless Pursuit. Chunky will play for Trickster away. Meanwhile, top lane, Toaster B2. That's very burnt bread you have to expect. And he, like, as soon as you're in a solo lane as an AD carry, as a Callista specifically, Fate's Call does nothing. You've got no ultimate. And that is so much more difficult. It's not like you're a Graves or someone who can burst someone down. No, you're all by yourself. Don't even have that ultimate ability. Wawa's going to get Cullings here, has to flash away. Chunky the new target. Playful Trickster's away. Gamers Legend might decide to come in, decides against it because he's very, very low on mana, and the Piercing Light will pick up Annie. Meanwhile, Ulfrin trying to rotate round, but at the moment, the rotations are definitely in favor. Oh, Ulfrin!
What?
Oh,
What just happened there? Oh,
there's a move on Cassio where if you ultimate behind you and then flash, the ultimate goes in front of you.
A bit like the Lee Sin animation.
A bit like the Lee Sin animation or the old Kassadin bug with the Rift War. But he failed his flash, and so he got knocked away by terrain, and the ultimate went where he was aiming it.
Yeah, okay, and obviously that's disappointing. And yeah, I think Ascendants played this really, really well. They know that all Shyvana's going to want to be doing is farming in the early stages of the game, because she doesn't have the biggest impact when it comes to ganks. They lane swap, they forced him to make the decision about whether he was going to put pressure on lanes. Didn't allow him to gank with the counter invades. They put a lot of pressure in top and forced the 2 towers out of Infused very, very early on, knowing that they would really need Cassiopeia to react for the wave clear because they didn't have anything else in terms of wave clear except for maybe Wawa, and even him as a wave clear is fairly...
oh, Veil stays away the blue as well.
Yeah. This is like classic snowball games
Yeah.
that we haven't seen for a very long time.
Ascendants are playing it so well.
They are playing it incredibly well, and Infused are just so far behind at a very early stage in the game. You're 10 minutes in and you're 4K behind. That's absolutely crazy.
Dragon's Ascent is used. The Hemoplague does come down. Zizzle with a Thunderous Shuriken. Will it be enough? It might! The Tides of Blood comes in. The Hemoplague will take the kill. Chunky has to playful Trickster away, and Open and Wawa trying to come in from the side, but no ult, no flash on that Open, no flash on Wawa either. And we talked about this yesterday. Annie without flash is a husk. A husk of a champion. You really can't do much. And Wawa is the target. He gets the stun onto Zizzle. Does get Fate's Calls away. He will get the kill. The depth charge is going to come onto Open, though. He hasn't got that flash available, and Open's going to go down.
That's really nice by Infused.
Toaster does pick up Subatomic. The teleport coming in. Actually, Open surviving in the backline. Wawa and Wawa and Toaster trying to fight up against Veil here. The red buff is going to proc. Veil picks up one. They're going to keep facing, and Toaster picks up the counter kill. And as you say it, Scoundrel, that's a really, really nice by Infused. Damnation trying to jump away, but the ace
from
Infused. How did that happen?
Who expected that? That was absolutely crazy. All stands here from Wawa. He gets Fates called away, which is just so powerful. Zizzle goes down very early to Ulfrin. Ulfrin is then on the sidelines, but Wawa jumps out of the Fates call and manages to put a lot of damage down onto Subatomic. Gives another kill to Callista, and it just means they're kiting Veil for so long as well. And Wawa dodging the body slam nicely there. Toaster picks up some much-needed gold and much-needed kills, and they also pick up the Dragon. Yeah. That is a huge swing for Infused. They're still behind in gold, but tempo-wise, definitely get themselves back in.
The reason that Infused won that team fight, and this is it. We saw Harpas Thor being left with Ulfrin. They thought Ulfrin was dead. Ulfrin already has 150 stacks on his aspect of the Serpent, and he gets a heal from his Twin Fangs. He lands the Twin Fangs, gets the heal, and survives the burst coming out from Vladimir. It was amazing. Yeah,
I didn't see on the sidelines because I was so focused on Wawa and Callista, but yeah, I mean, he has got the heal already, so he will be able to, in some essences, go toe-to-toe in terms of... he won't out-sustain Vladimir, but he'll definitely have some sustain there. And he'll probably have more flat damage or more over the course of a team fight. So if he can continuously look to keep himself just out of range, because obviously he gets that movement speed bonus from Noxious Blast. So if he can keep himself out of range of Vladimir, especially out of range of that transfusion, he'll be in a good position. But this is really, really dangerous for Chunky. Oh, but nice dodge.
Explosive cask available though, and Zizzle around the corner. Chunky does pop the Chum in the waters, but here comes Damnation, and Chunky goes down 1-on-1. He is sitting on equal CS though with Zizzle, but gets taken out once in that top lane by a good little gank coming out from Ascension. It's still a 4,000 gold lead now. 2 dragons to naught though from Infused, so they are getting a little bit of a map objectives, but they are still behind.
The problem is that those 2 towers having gone means you really can't effectively push up without having some serious ward coverage in your own red side jungle, which is not really what you want to be doing. You want to be aggressive with your warding. You want to try and push into their side of the jungle, but you can see Infused have just put so much down on their own red side. You know, because they're just so afraid of the pressure that top lane creates. No one is safe in this top lane now without the vision that Infused have got down. And even if they do have that vision, they still are at risk if anyone from Ascendants chooses to move through the Infused red side jungle, because they may not be able to escape before they can react and get up there and start the gank, because there's no towers to dive anymore. There's no towers there. So, yeah, Toaster just managed to dodge that out. Again, like we're saying though, he's very, very, very...
There comes the depth charge. The fake call was used on Wawa, but Subatomic waiting for an age, and now he's going to go in. He's got that Infinity Edge. If he can crit, Toaster's doomed. The heal comes out, but there's going to be a rend. Not quite enough, and Subatomic survives. And Wawa gets taken out in the backline. Ascendants rotating really well, but Ulfin and Gamers Legends have decided they want this mid lane tower for themselves. As we said earlier, tower's all about that map pressure. If Infused can get this, they can push out a little bit more from their own jungle and maybe get back on this game.
It's a prime example of why those 2 top lane towers are really important. If you're going to look to put anyone up in that top lane, there's so much space for the enemy team to follow ganks up and try and react that just unfortunately you're very rarely safe. You either need a lot of backup from your team or you just need to not be there. Toaster being there, especially against the Damnation on that Nautilus, meant that they were there's no way that they were going to be safe in that position, and unfortunately they did just get caught out. The Fate's Call was nice and could have done some work, but the 5-man roam by the Ascendants lineup put a lot of pressure down, and unfortunately just won that overall. They did manage to get the return mid lane tower, so I guess the global gold swing would have been in in a Infused favour, but still the pressure
slightly.
that's going down, the kills going onto some key targets, it's not going to be fun for Infused from here on out.
You have to wonder at what point this swings in Infused's favour. Yes, it's for that hasn't gold at the moment, but Infused with a Kalista, with a Shyvana Fizz, a Cassio as well, they scale very, very well into the late game. Is there a point at which we can say, guys, this looks like it's actually going to turn into Infused's favour, even though Ascendants in the early and mid game have been very, very far ahead?
Yeah, and I do think Cassio does scale fairly well. I probably think compete with Vladimir on some senses in the later stages of the game. So Infused aren't going to be too worried, I guess, going into the late game. They do have a Shyvana, they do have a Fizz, they do have a Kalista, all of which, you know, do quite well in the late game. So I guess...
Oh, and he's going to get caught out. Wawa gets locked out there by Veil and Damnation. Subatomic does come across. Veil takes the kill away. It looks like Veil's actually building perhaps towards a Rod of Aegis or a Righteous Glory on that Gragas. I wouldn't be surprised if it is that Rod of Aegis. Gives them a little bit more burst damage. Because they're so far ahead at the moment, they don't really need that initiate from him. Damnation and Zizzle have that.
And also, Damnation is building the Righteous Glory himself.
Well, yeah, they probably don't need another Righteous Glory then.
Yeah.
Or double Righteous Glory, extra movement speed.
Could
you
be,
are extra glorious.
Exactly, and who wouldn't want to be extra glorious, right?
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's difficult because that entire topside map is a death trap for Infused now, and you're seeing it time and time again. Anyone that steps around the red side jungle up towards that river area is getting consistently caught out by Ascendants. I would have thought Infused would have learned that by now and would have just been avoiding it like the plague.
Here comes Chunky.
Yeah, here comes Chunky. He's going aggressive.
Charm the Water Sanguine Pool is used there. Here comes Gamer's Legend, so Dragon's Descent is going down, but he might be descending to the depths
Oh,
of the
he did
fountain. Open does it. He lands on half past thought. Tommy gets stunned up as well. Here comes the teleport with Zizzle. Can they do anything here? No, Chunky's there, and the teleport cancelled. Once again, Infused with a great team fight. We saw it there from Open. The flash ult can be so strong if you use it right.
Yeah, I mean, basically what happens is the ult still has the same cone of effect where it was used previously, but you turn with the flash, so it makes it look like
it's going
you've done it the right way. And that was a great bit of play. Nice play on the Cassiopeia there, and again Infused pick up a team fight and win a team fight when probably they really shouldn't have. And I've got to say, Ascendants are picking their times to lose team fights because they're losing them all around that dragon area. What is great though is that Zizzle did push up the lane for Toaster in this top lane, so this is where Toaster can be safe. This is essentially where the only time you're going to be safe in this top lane really is when it's this far pushed up, or at least where the inner turret used to be. There's too much risk by pushing that further up. I think Veil wants to contest this though.
He definitely does. He's got quite a bit of damage on that explosive cast, but it looks like the rest of Infused are going to try and burn onto him. He does get it away, and Veil picks up the... That's actually really important for Ascendants because they get that damage bonus, which will help them scale.
That was a misplay from Alfred particularly. He accidentally started putting damage down onto the dragon instead of putting damage down onto Veil, and then just the miss smite meant that Veil picks up the dragon. So that's actually worth, I'd say, completely worth overall for the Ascendants lineup. But Infused have clawed the gold lead back to just 3k. So when you think Infused are out of it, they managed to pull it back with some magic, and that magic is basically these really wonderful team fights that seem to be happening just before the dragon timers. And Ascendants, they need to perk up and need to not get caught out like this time and time again. Damnation is saying no. I want to sort of get some vision down here. You don't want that red buff.
I'd like this vision here, but it's going to get swept out by Wawa with that pink red sub. Subatomic actually will get this tower because Infused are all backing away. The teleport does come in. They've decided against going back there. Chunky using that teleport to get into the fight. Both top laners with 3 kills under their belts, equal-ish on the CS as well. A little bit of an advantage for Zizzle, who's got a couple of extra assists as well, and it is actually a second Righteous Glory coming out from Veil.
Okay, I mean, I would have been surprised at the Rod of Ages at this point in this game. I was probably more expectant of the Righteous Glory just because of the fact he went Juggernaut. He'll be playing a very Numlock style Gragas in the sense that he's just very full tanky. Really relying on the base damages of Drunken Rage and being more of a disruption tool as opposed to being any sort of flat AP. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have expected that they needed any more damage anyway. They've got Kennen in the top lane, who obviously is a great damage source, and they've got Vladimir in that mid lane. And I've got to say, Half-Past Thor is not being as starved as he was previously, but a lot of that is to do with the pressure that's been put in this mid lane early on. They did take that tower with a 5-man roam quite quickly, or at least put pressure down onto it. There hasn't really been an elongated laning phase in this game because of those lane swaps.
We're only 20 minutes in. Gamers Legends is going to be able to push out that top lane. Of course, Shyvana, a very good split pusher, even if you don't have the teleport because of the burnout. It gets you into that lane very, very quickly. Chunky will come around towards this mid lane to join up with the rest of Infused, but Gamers Legends still pushing out this top lane. There's quite a big minion wave here. We'll tank up a lot of shots, and with this Twin Fang as well, he's going to do a lot of damage to towers.
Yeah, I think that's
Meanwhile, there's an engage. A Hema play comes in. There's the damage onto Toaster and Chunky. The slicing Maelstrom will slice them to smithereens, and Ulfrin will have to back away. Ascendants will push down for that tower in the middle lane. They're going to go for the inhibitor tower now. No Gamers Legends here. As we said, Veil flashes in, doesn't quite land the body slam. The explosive cast is available for him if he wants to go for it. Subtomic's decided he wants to be aggressive. Look at the damage coming out from Lucian. Crit, 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 crit. And they will take down the mid lane inhibitor tower as well in a minute. Maybe Wawa is up, has got that Tibbers used already, a stun available, and of course towers gain more armor if you don't have minions near them. Here comes Gamers Legend, dragging Descent into the fight, but Subtomic's still high. There's an exhaust on him as well. Gamers Legend's gonna have to back away. He's building towards that Warma, so he's very, very tanky. Hopper goes on to Wawa, but Wawa has a stun here. He's gonna not quite land it because of a great explosive pass from Veil, who flashes away at the end. And it looks like Ascendants will back away after just picking up the tower, not quite the inhibitor.
Yeah, I mean, this is a... That was interesting by Infused on that inner turret right there. I think the potential for a dive was well on the cards, and the fact that they wanted to try and defend a fifth HP turret probably wasn't the best choice, especially against a composition that so effectively can dive. Against as Ascendant's composition can. So I think a bit of a mistake from Infused there, but they're definitely not losing out entirely at this point. They did manage to get 2 turrets in the top lane for it. So overall, not the worst trade. Definitely not worth, but not the worst trade in the world. I mean, when you've got your jungler split pushing who doesn't have any ability to immediately react to someone taking that mid lane in a turret, I think Infused should have just given that one up and waited for Gamers Legend to back off so they could defend the inhibitor turret. But as it stood, they lost the dive and then lost the inhibitor turret too. So it was a 2-for-2 tower trade, but I guess Infused won't be the unhappy,
they won't be too sad with that one. Big gold difference in the spot lane at the moment. It's 1,500 gold, and we can see that in items as well. Phantom Darts are already completed on Subtomic, and he's going towards the QSS as his third sort of item there. He's got the No Magic Mantle already, and I'm not surprised by that at all. Against Annie's stun, against Petrifying Gaze coming out from Ulfrin as well. Chunky, even the Chum the Waters can be QSS'd, so I'm not surprised at all by the fact he's decided to go for that defensive item as his third.
Yeah, very much so. Going for the, I guess the QSS, which
Here
is so
comes
valuable.
the Righteous Glory. Veil is trying to get onto Ulfrin. The body slam comes out. There's the Drunk Invasion as well. Explosive Cusk, and Ulfrin goes down. No Petrifying Gaze for you, Cassiopeia. You're going to molt that skin and perhaps come back in a minute. But Chunky's the new target. Depth Charge goes through Toaster to that fish on the backline. Damnation's going to get stunned up, but here comes Subtomic. He flashes in. Dragon's Ascent is used. Here comes Sizzle with a teleport. This is going to be so big. Toaster going so low at the backline. Will survive in just a second. Gamers Legends has to flash away, but Zizzle has gone on to Wawa in the backline. It's only Toaster and Gamers Legends surviving. The inhibitor is the target. Gamers Legends running away for his life. Toaster just about surviving. Dragon up in 42 seconds. Baron has spawned, so Ascendants might decide to rotate that. They're going to go down towards this Dragon. 30 seconds on that, and they should be able to pick that one up. Mid lane inhibitor, 23 minutes into the game. Ascendants definitely dominating this one.
Yeah, there's the flash engage coming out from Damnation. He actually chooses to blow a lot of his CC onto Chunky. Luckily, Toaster got in the way of it as well, so he was also locked up in that CC. Meant that he was an easy target for Half-Past Thor to get onto, and he took a lot of damage going down very quickly, and then obviously followed up from Zizzle was fantastic. They also managed to... you're doing a big head shake sign.
I just don't... Ascendants are at the Dragon, right? And yes, Infused have got 3 members here now. But why wouldn't you just stay and try and do the Dragon? They've all backed away. Maybe they don't value this third Dragon. It is quite important for them at this point, though, because they're rotating around the map a lot.
Yeah.
They're trying to use, and they would get, they're going to deny the movement speed, which is almost as good as getting the movement speed for themselves.
The little bit of movement speed that will be there will actually help them against the double Righteous Glory.
Yeah.
Just even if just the slightest amount will be okay for them. So yeah, I'm a bit perplexed.
Maybe they thought, we don't have cooldowns. We know that Cassio still got all of hers because we burst her before she could use anything. Chum the Waters is back up as well, and there's a TP available for Chunky. So they just thought, yeah, we'll just back away.
That is the key thing. If Ulfrin's not alive for these team fights, you know, Ascendants are going to win them every single day of the week. So
he's completed the serfs now, though. So.
Yeah. How many stacks has he got, sorry?
He's completed it. His
He's
Seraph's
completed.
Embrace is completed.
Oh, I mean the stacks on his
on his
passive.
Casio.
320 something.
320 odd on that. So waiting for that 500 mark now for the fully stacked aspect of the Serpent. But looks like he's building toward a Ludent Echo as well, something we sometimes see on Casio.
Yeah, it's a good item on Casio. You can easily proc it with the Noxious Blast. That's always very, very easy to do. And yeah, Ascendants looking to put pressure down on this.
Flash by Wawa. The stun going to land off the Zizzle and Subtomic. Zizzle goes very low, gets taken out already. Chunky goes low though, and he's going to use that Playful Tricks to try and get away. It was a good chum. The Water's Damnation still there. Brunan's blocking on so many people. Subtomic uses that QSS. Open did flash in with that, and it's a good bite for Infused. It's 2 members of Ascendants left. What can Harpath Thor do v4? I don't think he can do much. He's going to hit the floor with that Sanguine Pool. Open the target. The snake gets taken out. Harpath Thor will get taken down by Infused. Toaster showing his worth on that Callista now. He's 5-3, but Subtomic is still alive. Meanwhile, on the Nexus, towers are going down. Half HP on that one, but it looks like the minions might have just spawned in time here for Infused.
Yeah, they'll be able to save this Nexus tower, and that'll be fine for them. Again, Ascendants do this quite often when they're ahead. They don't actually fully respect the power of the enemy team to come back here. This is a Wawa. He only gets I think he gets a double stun, actually. He gets a stun onto Atomic, but the key thing is here is Kennen had absolutely nothing to do in that team fight. Didn't even get his Zhonya's off, as well as his ultimate, and a lot of this is just nice inner team rotation by the Infused lineup. They use that the ultimate from Callista to navigate Wawa into a correct position, and obviously then Harpath Thor is isolated. He does get a double kill here. I think Ulfrin trying to help out a little bit too much, takes a lot of damage for what it's worth. The heal comes out to try and save him, but that's not enough. But a good team fight by Infused, and all of it started from a nice double stun to some key targets. But most importantly, Zizzle went down without a fight, which is obviously quite a big portion of the control of team fights that Ascendants have. Yeah,
both these teams have such a good team fight comp that if one member gets taken out, the other team's always going to win it. Assuming the member hasn't used any of their abilities, like Slicing Maelstrom, such a big team fight ultimate. Explosive Cask, Hemo, Plague, Culling, Petrifying Gaze, Chum the Waters, these are all massive team fight ultimates. And if those members get taken out before they can use them, they're going to struggle with these fights. However, the gold differential is still only 3,000, and now it's so much smaller as a percentage of the overall gold totals. It's less than 10% difference between these two teams. 18 kills to 14, 1 Dragon to 3 in favor of Infused. 7 towers to 4 though, and that's where some of this gold is coming from for Infused. They've swept out the Baron.
Infused are really just clawing this gold lead back and back and back. It seems to be going in Ascendant's favor, and then they just managed to claw it back. But yeah, look, that's a nice...
but you can clear it without it giving vision.
Yeah, I know.
But they know, obviously now they know Damnation's in the area.
So I think they knew that was potentially a bait there, and Infused aren't going to fall for that as easily. But Ulfrin not got a lot of mana here, has got the blue buff, so he'll have, in time, he'll have...
Here goes Gamers
Legend. Oh wow, here we go.
Dragon's Ascent, the Righteous Story is used, Chum the Waters doesn't connect onto anyone, and this is going to be big. Harpath Thor getting to the midline, and they're going to go onto Subtomic, who flashes away. Chunky's there, Vel's going to go very low. Chunky still on that front line, but the Hemoplague's only hit onto Gamers Legends. Really, Open is behind them. They need to be so careful, because the Cassiopeia is going to come in. Subtomic uses the cleanse already, and Open landing damage after damage. Twin Fangs eating away at his opponents here. The Harpath Thor once again left alive by himself. Zizzle has escaped. Oh, he's come back in. He's going to be able to pop that Zonius. Will they get enough damage down? The teleport coming out from Chunky. He's going to chase onto Harpath Thor. Wawa's going to be the target here for Harpath Thor on that Vlad, but they will get away. 19 to 19. 400 gold the difference, and Gamers Legend and Chunky with Infused can now take this Baron.
Oh my god, and Toaster survived as well.
Yeah, if
you look how hard Zizzle commits to Toaster in this team fight, you'll understand why actually Ascendants lacked a bit of damage here. They're all going for Toaster at this point in time. Hemoplague just lands on the edge here. They all chase, and Zizzle is just hard-lining after Toaster, who just manages to kite his way away. And you'll just see here, it's all from Ulfrin from the backline. Subatomic and a beautiful ultimate taking Subatomic down. Harpath Thor does his best to try and 1v3, and unfortunately, in the end, you'll see it's not quite enough. Zizzle does manage to take Ulfrin down, but at the cost of his own life. And yeah, Zizzle just committed far too hard. He didn't actually make use of his ultimate again in the most ideal way there, because even Toaster managed to avoid the majority of the damage, and also, like I said, surviving, which was really, really key to that fight.
One of the main things as well was that Ascendants sort of split up. Half of them came down through the mid lane, and half of them went up through that river area, and if they'd all gone together, they've got such a great AoE comp that they could have quite easily burst down that front line and then turned onto Toaster and onto Ulfrin, but because they were split up, the damage was split up between all of them, and their sort of tankier members weren't there with their more damage-dealing members.
QSS is on Toaster now, which is going to be big. And I gotta say, Zizzle just needs to be a little bit more concise with his ultimate, making sure he's not trying to isolate one target. It's a team-wide ultimate. It's supposed to lock up as many members as you can. It's it's supposed to be used in that AoE setting. If you're hardlining after a fairly mobile AD carry, for instance, you're going to lose a lot of pressure in the team fight because that gives free ground for someone like Ulfrin to just navigate his way and do damage from the backline. Really, Zizzle, I think, needs to be locating as many key targets as he can in just one ultimate, but they're trying to go for Wawa. Fate's Cool manages to keep him safe, and he's just going to Fate's Cool back.
They actually double Righteous Glory there to try and get that chase on, so they weren't quite able to do enough. Culling comes out the hook. Damnation. Ulfrin did flash away. Chum of the Waters has been used on Damnation. Meanwhile, Gamers Legends is taking out the Dragon by himself. And if they can get a fight right now, Ascendance eSports will win it out. There's no Shyvana there to be that frontline tank, but they're going for the mid lane inhibitor.
I'm not sure. Gamers Legend is taking this Dragon very, very, very slowly, so he's going to get it very quickly, head back to base, and hopefully have that home guard. There's the Dragon. Has gone down. Fourth of the game. That's threatening fifth now for Ascendants. There's a lot of damage, and actually they're trying to catch out. I don't think Infused are going to fall for this.
Ascendants are now behind in gold for the first time in this game.
Yeah, this has been a big comeback by Infused, and it's just been some really fantastically played team fights, to be honest. You can see the Infused team fight just working out time and time again over Ascendants, and Ascendants throwing in some ways. They've been a little bit cocky near, especially inhibitor turrets. Across all the games we've seen them play, even against Grey Warwick, they did potentially lose some fights that they shouldn't have just because they overextended just a little bit too much. And this is going to be the inner turret now going down for Infused. They're actually going to level the turrets up, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, two turrets still, but a beautiful flash nippers on three people. Dragon's Descent comes out, and Zizzle slicing Maelstrom only going to hit on Gamers Legend. Half-Past's already used his Zhonya's. Subtomic's during the fray now. Gamers Legend's going to get taken out by Toaster, getting a lot of damage down on the backline. Hemoplague does come out. Toaster's on a rampage. Chunky goes in, he gets taken out, but here comes Toaster. What can he do in a 1v3? He's gone a bit deep, but here comes the Fate's Call. Wawa's going to jump onto Half-Past and knock him away. Toaster, Ulfrin, and Wawa in a little bit of a sticky situation here. Wawa tanking up the tower. They will be able to get away. And good guy Wawa. Little girl tanking the tower for a snake and a spirit, which is ever so slightly odd, but is what's going to happen here. Infused is going to try and push down for this inhibitor tower. They did lose out in that fight, though. 2 kills to 1.
Yeah, I actually, I think maybe Chunky forgot he was on Hit Fizz and was going for a burst on Vladimir there, but we'll see it again here. They take that inner turret, and then you're going to see a beautiful Tibbers coming out from Wawa. Nice three-man Tibbers there. The ultimate comes down. The Gamers Legend is isolated at this point in time. All of the ultimates again being blown on just a fairly tanky target, so the backline of Infused left to do what they want. At this point, they've won the fight straight out, but unfortunately Chunky just manages to suicide as he goes in after.
If he'd landed the Chum of the Waters, he
gets
that kill.
If he'd landed, I think maybe he'd potentially thought that Chum of the Waters was going to land and had already committed by that point. But yeah, like I said, Infused just winning that team fight out. They did go even in the end, but I think a lot of that was due to the Chunky dive more than anything. He's nearly finished that Blade of the Ruined King too, so that'll be a big thing for him. Although, at this point in the game, 32 minutes in, still sitting on tier 1 boots.
Who needs tier 2 boots?
Who needs tier 2 boots? Mundo's shoe shop is not open, apparently.
Should just buy 6 boots. 1 for each leg, a couple for his tentacles, and 2 others, because he might as well. Never have too many shoes. I'm told that by many people, mostly women and Ascendants at the moment. Going to try and set up a little trap around Baron once more. We've seen them do it time after time. Half-Past's coming up. Toaster's going to put some pressure on. The Fate's Call has come out, and Subtomic has to flash away along with the Relentless Pursuit. But from the backline, here come the rest of Ascendants. They popped a couple of Righteous Glories. Zizzle goes in, slicing Maelstrom with so many people. Ulfrin's going to get taken down before he can even use the Petrifying Gaze, and Chunky's the next target. He's playful tricks, but Wawa goes down. Zizzle with a beautiful slicing Maelstrom has won this teamfight at the moment for the side of Ascendants. Gamers Legend trying to get onto Subtomic, but it's almost an ace, and they've only lost Zizzle thus far. Gamers Legend gets taken out. Toaster's going to have to run away. And what a slicing Maelstrom. It's exactly what you said, X-Scoundrel.
I have no idea what you just said there, but it sounded impressive.
I was excited.
But no, that was exactly what the Ascendants lineup needed to do, and that was just the... You see the difference when they manage to land an effective slicing Maelstrom. They win the team fights if that slicing Maelstrom is not used effectively.
Slicing Maelstrom.
Yeah, they tend to lose it. I actually think they could have potentially... No, they actually know there's 3 seconds on Ulfrin. Yeah. They definitely had the potential to take that inhibitor, which they did, but maybe I almost thought they could potentially end the game. But it looks like Toaster wants to do something here. 1 minute 44 until Baron. Dragon will be up, I guess, in around 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Yep. So there is still chance for Infused to make this work again. Remember, for the next 5 minutes, there are no flashes on Ascendants, or at least on some of the members. The key members like Zizzle and Vale, the flashes will probably be down by the next time they come around to team fighting.
Zizzle has gone distortion though, so his flash will be up sooner than most.
But Ulfrin's flash will be up very soon as well. So, you know, that's quite big for Infused. As long as Ulfrin can keep himself healthy and out of that slicing Maelstrom, then obviously they're in a good position. Like we said, there was a really big slicing Maelstrom. It landed on very big targets. In fact, I think almost, I would hazard to say that if slicing Maelstrom lands on Zizzle, I think Ascendants win the team fight.
Slicing Maelstrom is always going to land on Zizzle because he's Kennen. He's going to be the one using it.
If Slicing Maelstrom lands on Ulfrin, I think I hazard to say that Ascendants have...
If they can get the stun off before he petrifying gazes, they tend to win the team fight. Yeah.
And also there's no Zhonya's yet on Ulfrin, so there's no invulnerability to that
stun lock.
So he's only got the Seraph's Embrace to try and negate the damage, and he's actually not going for Zhonya's anytime soon. So
it looks like he might be building an Abyssal Scepter next.
I think Abyssal Scepter is likely.
It could even be his own QSS. We've seen it on a few people in LCK in Korea.
Yes.
People like Janna and people who have long sets of burst damage or long sets of damage throughout a team fight who need to be getting their skills off can sometimes go QSS when they're being focused in these fights, just because if he QSSs and then petrifying gazes, that is an entirely changed team fight.
Yeah, definitely the QSS will really help him out. And obviously then he can then choose to sell it later on if he just wants the more flat AP and can rely on his positioning alone. Or if he gets that Zhonya's, so he could go QSS into Zhonya's and then sell off the QSS when he needs to. Culling comes down.
Oh, here comes Zizzle, but the flash away from Ulfrin is exactly what you said. If he can flash away, they might be able to win the team fight. They don't. Ascendants need to back off now. Yeah. Ascendants need to wait for that slicing Maelstrom to be back up. They are trying to posture around this dragon, which they do need to pick up for themselves. It's a little bit dangerous.
I don't think Infused can fight either, but Gamer's Legend, he's being aggressed on here. They really want to get this dragon, and I don't think Infused can do much because of how low Ulfrin is at this point in time. I think Infused are saying, you go for dragon, we go for Baron. Yeah. So they're moving over towards that Baron side of things. Bit of damage coming down from Ulfrin, but yeah, I think Ascendants are saying, actually, we'll just go for Baron.
Oh, Petrifying Gaze only onto Hoppa's Thor. Didn't get the stun, and Hoppa's Thor can flash away. And that changes things once more. It's a game of back and forth. It's a game of cat and mouse. And at the moment, Ascendants are the cats. Infused are the mice. Are they going to be able to break into this trap?
Yeah, it looks like Vale wanted to make something happen here. Chunky gets locked up. Does jump over the wall, though. He will be safe. And this is so touch and go from both sides here. It's so tense. Damnation steps up to the plate. He is going to be backing off. Oh, Harper's Thor in the middle of nowhere.
Out. The Hemoplague does come in. Wawa flashes in with the Tibbers. Chunky is going to get taken out in the backline. Subtomic picking up Ulfrin, though. And here goes Subtomic. What can he do? Can he kite back? Can he help out? No. Toaster gets in with the crit at the end. And Harper's Thor's now getting locked in by Gamer's Legend. Wawa jumps back in with a Fate's Call. The exhaust on Toaster, though, is absolutely huge. What can Damnation do? Not that much. Zizzle still no slicing Maelstrom. They need to take out Toaster, and they've done it. Vale and Zizzle be two. Gamer's Legend and Wawa. Gamer's Legend should get taken out by the cannon here. Can he ninja his way away? I don't think he can. Octocops is going to be too icy for him. Oh, the burnout's going to keep him alive, but let's have a quick look at the Nexus Towers. They're down to half HP already. Wawa's being able to back away. There's a big push in the bottom lane as well. But Vale and Zizzle are going to back away. They're going to get the dragon.
This game feels like a 50-minute long game the way it's going, but it's only 37 minutes in. I know, it's absolutely crazy, but this has stopped the 5th dragon of the game going over to Infused, so that's a good win for Ascendants.
Oh, great win. Let's have a look at this.
We'll have a quick look here. Harper's Thor kind of caught in the middle of nowhere, doesn't land the most effective Hemoplague, and actually we see Ulfrin going down very quickly to Subatomic. That puts Subatomic out of position though, and Toaster is able to get the kill, and because he's got that Bloodthirster, he can just kite for days and uses the heal too to keep himself healthy. And this is a really nice fake call by Wawa, but Toaster goes in very, very heavy. The exhaust comes down and Harper's Thor can do work.
How is Harper's Thor still alive?
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Just Vladimir in a nutshell, to be honest. And actually, Gamer's Legend does really, really well to survive at the end of this too. So, yeah, I mean, again, look, an even team fight, but Ascendants come out the winners. And,
hashtag just Vlad things there.
Just Vlad things, boys.
He's going to get a Rabadon's Death Cap next item as well, and that's going to give him such a huge power spike. Even if he misses positions, a good Hemoplague will help catch out.
Wit's End on Shyvana, I like that. That's very cool. Oh, Subatomic.
Oh, Subtomic's going to get caught out ever so slightly, but the Chum of the Waters isn't going to connect. There's the culling, and Zizzle going to try and lock out a couple of members here. Chunky's still going on to Subtomic, but he might go down. Playful Tricks, this is not enough. The heal comes out. Zizzle has used that Zhonya's, and meanwhile, Damnation from the backline. Gamer's Legend still alive, just about Wawa. Here comes Ulfrin from behind, but Subtomic going to dodge a Petrifying Gaze. Ulfrin gets locked up for days. He's going to go down to the Hemoplague. No, Seraphs, not quite enough. There comes Harper's Thor picking up the kill. Toaster still alive, though. Can he take out anything here? Explosive Guns not quite going to connect. There's the Pierce. Toaster getting rid of that slow. Vale's going to go back in. A good decision from Vale. Toaster will be able to get a lot of damage down onto him here. I don't think it will be enough. Even if he lands the Rend, even if he lands the Pierce, no, Vale will survive. And the Inhibitor, however, has respawned here in the mid lane for Team
They're
Infused.
trying to go straight for Baron.
Yeah, they've got a Kalista, they've got a Shyvana. There is a teleport available on Zizzle in 16 seconds, but that's quite a while in this game.
Ping's coming down.
To 26.
This is going to go down so quickly to make this effective.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know if they'll do it in time. It's going to be so close.
Baron, Chunky's coming in with the teleport back. Zizzle coming in. Zizzle coming in. He's got flash. He can jump over the wall if he wants to. They get the Baron, but are they going to lose out with their lives here? Gamer's Legend's going to be able to get away. Toaster can pierce over the wall. Here he goes. Oh no, he doesn't do it. Toaster, what are you doing? You madman! Gets taken out by Harpass Thor and Bale. And the rest of the Ascendants team do manage to shut down one. However, there are still 4 Barons left here on Team Infused. What's this going to mean, Excalibur?
It's pretty hard to clutch that, actually, and I do sympathise with Toaster. It's quite hard to clutch over the wall. But they do get Baron in exchange for 1 kill. What can Ascendants do with this? Probably not too much. They've already taken a lot of objectives off the map at this point in time. And they've got big lanes pushing in the bottom top lane. So Infused Toaster will be up in time, and I think that's a worthy sacrifice for the Baron there. Everyone else got away scot-free. Chunky also managed to jump over the wall, as he being that Fizz. This is just, I feel like this game's been going on far longer than it actually has, because so much action has happened left, right and centre. But yeah, I think Ascendants, they're going to look to try and take the inhibitor out a bit, and I think it's the most they'll probably get. But they've got 10 seconds until Toaster's here, so if they don't take it quickly,
I mean, they're still slicing Maelstrom on Zizzle. He's still got his flash because he didn't flash into the back of their Baron pit. They do get the inhibitor. There is a pause, and that gives me a second to have a breath, which I think I need.
Yeah, I think we all need it after what has just happened in this game. It has been crazy. I think there's a quick pause. Everyone's ready. And
that's my breath. Here we go.
Here we go. Toaster up in 3 seconds. Toaster hasn't got home guards, so he won't be rushing into this fight by any means. Gamer's Legend and the rest of the guys want to try and do their best to push down this mid lane. Oh, they managed to get the bot lane turret, and Gamer's Legend, he may go aggressive here, takes a lot of damage. Yeah.
Look at that, half his HP from the Culling. That's a very big Lucian. 11-4. Dearie me.
I know.
Damnation.
10-5 on Toaster, though. It's kind of...
oh, here we go. Righteous Glory's been popped. They're going to go in. No, they're not.
It's the threat. It was the threat of going in that was the real key there. Actually, Ulfrin has got 500 stacks on Cassie now as well, so sitting on 824 AP, and he doesn't even have Rabadons.
Who needs Rabadons when you can have Aspect of the Serpent? They're pushing down towards this mid lane. We do see Damnation backing off, but 3 members of Ascension should be able to defect this, even with the Baron minions. There's no ban of command on Wawa, so there's not going to be that super Frankie minion.
There is a flash on Zizzle as well, so I think Ulfrin's got to be very careful here.
From the side as well. He swept out that bush. He could use that electrical surge and then flash across the wall. Is that what he wants to do?
That's probably what he wants to do here. I think they've got to be so careful.
They haven't got any vision down here, though. Ascension are going to be walking blind into their own jungle if they go forwards.
Toaster's full build as well.
Vale is blind. Vale is blind. Too much drinking, Vale. He's gone blind. They see the Luden's Echo proc there, so they know there's people in the bush as well. Yeah,
and Toaster, front line here. Again, a lot of the Infused are just sort of tempting. They're tempting Zizzle to make that, but luckily Zizzle wasn't in the right position there. Again, like I said, Ascendants really rely on Zizzle for the majority of the team fight control. Oh, another pause coming out.
Teams are tense. Teams are
so tense at this point in time.
It's a one team fight.
One team fight wins the game.
For either team.
One convincing team fight.
Yeah.
So like a 5-for-1.
Even if the next dragon spawns and Infused get a 2-for-0, and they go for that dragon, get their 5th dragon along with this Baron they have at the moment, I think that might win them the game.
Yeah,
it is all on a knife edge.
It is a knife edge right
700 gold out of 70,000 gold. That's tiny. That's 1%.
It is, and
we are getting back into the game.
At this point in time, the gold differences could be large and make very little difference.
Yeah.
You know, 5k, it does not mean the same at 42 minutes that it did at 20 minutes into the game.
Definitely.
And these guys are like you said, 700 gold. This is toe-to-toe stuff between Infused and Ascendants.
Toe-to-toe stuff.
Toe-to-toe stuff, dude.
I meant toe-to-toe stuff. Toe-to-toe stuff.
1 minute until Dragon.
Yeah. Distract me from that pun.
That's toe-to-toe stuff.
There's a quite a big wave here for toe-to-toaster.
Toe-to-toe. Okay.
Yeah, see, it was such a good pun, you didn't even realise I was being funny.
There's
a big wave in the top lane.
There's no teleport on Chunky either, so he's going to go clear this one out. But like we said, no teleport on
40
Chunky.
seconds on Dragon.
Exactly, so he's going to have to clear it quickly and head down to this Dragon area. 5 dragons, like you said, would be quite devastating. Do Ascendants have the timer on Chunky's teleport? Chunky will take quite a while to clear this wave out.
And his teleport's still 80 seconds away.
Yeah, so he's going to have to clear this wave and move down
You have to assume that the enemy knows your teleport timer.
He's coming down.
Oh, Open's going to get caught out. He does flash away, though. There's the depth shots. They're going to go all in, but the Dragon's Descent on the side. The Cullen comes out. Open's going to go very low. The Petrified Gaze is in such a perfect position, but he doesn't even get it. He does get it off, but it's not enough. And Zizzle, with the Slicing Maelstrom, takes out the big carry at the moment for Infused. Chum the Waters, but Warwick gets caught out again. There's no Toaster. He's miles away from the fray. Gamers Legend's going to get crit there by Subatomic. Chunky, the next target, Fate's Call comes in. Warwick jumps back in. 3-man knockup, but is it enough? I don't think it is. Infused are on the back foot here. No open. Ascendants deciding they don't want to keep pushing, though. They're going to go back and get this dragon.
Yeah, I don't know why Infused are splitting up when there's such key objectives on the map to take. I know there was a big wave in top lane, but you probably could have foregone that just to make sure your team are together for this dragon. That 5th dragon will secure them the game if they take it, I think, or all but secure them the game anyway. They're so lucky to have just lost 1 member in that engage, and that they're not going to lose the game from that. This is just so knife edge at this point in time. And Ulfrin, I think, again,
still
a lot of
23 seconds on him as well.
A lot of stuff burnt to kill Ulfrin, which I guess is the saving grace here. So they know the next fight Ulfrin will be a little bit safer, because there is no flash on Zizzle, and there's no flash on Half-Past Thor, and no flash on Damnation, which means it's going to be a little bit easier for Ulfrin to keep himself in a safe position. But this has happened a couple of times now. Ulfrin's been out of position, and obviously you cannot be within, I don't know, a Baron's breadth of anywhere. A Baron's breadth of anywhere of the Ascendants lineup, because all it takes is a flash engage from Zizzle, a flash engage from Damnation, and you've suddenly been completely caught out. You've got to factor that in when you're playing against a lineup like Ascendants.
And speaking of a Baron's breadth, the girth of the giant worm will be joining us once more on the Rift in 1 minute 40. With Baron,
the girth of the giant worm. Okay, yeah.
Do you think with Baron it's like a spawn, like a baby Baron, or do you think it's the same Baron coming back?
I think he rises from the grave.
Ah, so he's a bit Sion-esque.
You know, he becomes one with the Rift, and then the Rift rematerializes him.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's just how it happens.
Maybe he's just a hologram.
Just Baron.
Maybe we are all just thoughts in the mind of Baron, guys.
Maybe we are just one giant simulation. Maybe League of Legends is the real world, and we're the simulation.
Whoa!
I know, right?
You have blown my tiny little mind, scoundrel.
Your mind's not tiny, you're a genius.
Oh, thanks. Ah. You are really kind to me, and I'm an utter ponce to you sometimes, aren't I?
Ponce?
Well, there were other words I wanted to use, but I didn't think they were appropriate for the stream.
So I'm just reconfirming Twitch chat's belief that I am gay. So, you know, Twitch chat can believe that all they want if they like, that's fine.
I have to tell your girlfriend at some point. Anyway, we do see Ascendants trying to push down the mid lane. The inhibitor has respawned. And it looks like they're going to try and go for this one. Of course, a nice choke point here for Orphan to get a lot of damage down, and Toaster to try and kite back in. The Chum the Water is obviously a lot easier to hit when you just have to aim it between these 2 duck faces. Is that a duck face? Look at that. That's definitely the face of a duck.
Where's this?
It's got like a beak. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
it's a duck face.
A little bit of a duck face going on.
And there's one on the other side.
Maybe it's like a sly nod to, you know, the majority of photos that you get from selfies. It's like a Rift selfie.
The Rift has taken a selfie of itself, and it is attractive. Gamers Legend's going to take a little bit of damage. He's on the front line. Zizzle having to chase away a little bit. Toaster's going to try and push out this lane because there are super minions coming in, but Gamers Legends may be slightly out of position. Does now have a GA on himself though, so it'll be even more difficult for them to take him down. It's a flank. Half-Past Thor and Zizzle. Half-Past Thor's popped the ghost. He's going to try and get away, but the rest of Infused are coming in. Here comes Zizzle. What can he do? Gamers Legend with a beautiful Dragon's Descent. Going to keep him out, but Toaster's going to get melted away. And Gamers Legend for the next target. Subtomic's still alive in the backline. One was there, but he's going to get taken out as well. Toaster down. Half-Past Thor's kept on chasing. Look at how low open is. Subtomic flashes in. What can he do? Not a huge amount because it's just out of range, but they're going to get the inhibitor now. You must think it's 3 for 2. 3 for 1. 2 for 1, in fact. I'll get my numbers correct in the end. Open did pop Petrifying Gaze, did have to run away.
I felt like
Ascension are going to go for it.
I felt like that was a perfect fight for the Infused lineup, but unfortunately Toaster caught out. They're going to try and take another
surprise, they've decided to back away once.
Look how big Nautilus is, holy moly.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you go into space. You stretch. Less gravity pulling your spinal cord together, column together, makes you stretch out. Most people who go into space, just the spinal column, most people who go into space actually gain about 2 inches by the time they come back.
Well, there you are.
And the top lane inhibitor tower is going to go down here.
Where are the 2 inches gained?
It pulls the discs apart in your spinal cord, mate.
Oh, so you get taller.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about something else.
Disgusting, disgusting, man. Inhibitor in the top lane is going to go down. There's a big wave in bot lane as well. Chunky's still there. There's still 12 seconds on. The respawn time is here for Infused. They could move towards the bot lane. Come on, Ascension, you know you want to. This game has been going on long enough. The gold is perfectly even. Even? It's amazing. 700 health left on that tower. Ascension decide to back away. They know the Baron is an option here for Infused. It looks like they're going to go for it themselves. They set up a bait, mate. Do you rate this one 8 out of 8?
8 out of 8 would be what I go for that bait, mate, but I would have to relate to Ascendants. They are trying to berate Infused into this Baron.
Do you think they've left the game too late, though?
Potentially too late.
I have to see. Oh, Damnation flashes in. Opens up. Gonna get connected with that one. The teleport's coming in beside. And Zizzle does have his own teleport if he comes in. Oh, whoa! He gets such a great face call from the side. Up Thor's hadn't bought the Zonias. Here comes Zizzle, though. Still didn't teleport in. They get 2 kills. Open does go down.
2 big kills right here.
Is that enough, though? Is that enough? Zizzle's still alive and still has Slicing Maelstrom and still has Flash.
But they definitely can get a return inhibitor here. They're going to go for Baron, though. I don't know. They could get an inhibitor.
No, why would you do that?
I don't know, man. The lane pressure may be worth them more than the Baron at this point, but they are going to go for the Baron. Wawa MVP with that fake school right there. I mean, I suppose it's a Wawa Toaster combo. Toaster has to initiate, Wawa has to finish. Going to see it here again. Ulfrin, you think he's caught out. The hook not landing is quite big because it gives him a little bit extra time to try and do as much as he can. I do believe he gets Petrifying Gaze up, but there we go. Wawa knocks up. Gets a nice stun too. There's the Petrifying Gaze at the last moment. Half-Past Thor lost in no man's land, has to pull, allows Toaster from the back line to do as much as he can. Half-Past Thor does dodge out the Chum the Waters, but he is a dead man after that.
Toaster!
Oh, Toaster!
It's burnt away.
He's still alive! What the hell? He's still alive!
What the lickings? Toaster, the exhaust comes right at the end. Veils come in as well. Explosive Cask is available for Belly if he knocks them in. The face calls come out from
Whoa!
A double knock up and Damnation there. How on earth did Toaster survive? They dunked him in a bath of water. Thought he was going to go down, but Toaster put him in some rice and he'll be nice and polite to you as you can survive the fight. And they do. Look at the attack speed. He's got Zephyr. He's sold his boots. He's got a Zephyr.
Just bloodthirsty thing,
boys.
boys.
You know how he survived? Tenacity.
Yeah, the
from
tenacity.
The Zephyr.
Yeah, tenacity from the
Water
Zephyr.
built.
That it would be the most obvious choice to take for boots.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, but it was just the attack speed that he had. He forgoed the stuns. Obviously, then diminishing returns took place as well, so they couldn't stun him up for as long. And just bloodthirster things, boys. Just bloodthirster things. He managed to survive a massive amount. I can't believe he survived that. And then Wawa again. Nice. Fate's cool. Yeah, I love shouting Wawa as they just throw Wawa. It's like, just imagine throwing a small girl at a giant robot. Like, Wawa!
I cannot make the distance. You'll have to toss me. Wawa getting chucked like Gimli onto Helm's Deep there, managing to help out his AD carry, though. He bridged that divide. The Orcs were coming to Isengard, and they got stopped in their tracks. Fifth Dragon and the Baron at the moment for Infused. Over in his back alive. Damnation, 5 seconds till he's up. It's the next team fight again. It's always been the next team fight, and this time it might be the next team fight.
Yeah, so I think this is Baron and Fifth Dragon for Infused. As long as Ulfrin and Toaster keep themselves safe, this should be a fairly easy cleanup for them.
Here we go.
Tower dive's never good though, boys. Tower dive's never good, but look how quickly that's going down.
The tower and it's down. The Dragon's Descent does connect onto Zizzle. He doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom. Chum the Waters comes out. Zizzle's going to go down. Gamers Legends is not back. He's going to get put into that G, but Ulfrin pounding away with those Twin Fangs. He goes so low. Is he going to go down? Subtomic might get this kill. He does. And yes, they've got the inhibitor, but Harpastor's still alive for a moment in the backline. Fate's Call comes out, knocks onto Damnation, but Damnation gets stunned again. Wawa goes in. Gamers Legend might go out. Chunky might go down. No, Toaster's still alive. He's taking up the tower.
Toaster,
boys. He's going to dodge around. And Toaster with the double kill and Infused might have turned this game. They went behind so far. Can Infused do this? And they might be able to.
Backing off. It's the
Infused, please, God. What are you doing?
1v4, boys.
It's 1v4.
Oh my God, what is going on?
Toaster's like, no, what are you guys doing? Come on,
They're waiting for the minions, and Gamers Legend has just had to come back. It's too risky to tank, I think, but they've got to wait for the minions. They have got 45 seconds. They can win the game.
Yeah,
100%
I don't see how Subtomic counters this.
Yeah, Subtomic can't, I don't think, defend 1v4. If he can, I mean, I will be shouting his name.
Yeah, I will change my Twitter handle to Subtomic the God if he manages this, but no. He's dead. He gets one. Well done.
But this is game to Infused.
Infused are going to take the game. And at 50, we said it sounded like a 50-minute game. It's a 53-minute epic here between Team Infused and Ascendants. All credit to Ascendants. They had a great early game, but Infused just turning it on its head, fight after fight after fight. What an amazing gaming scoundrel. I've been left breathless here in the ESL UK studios in Leicester.
Me too. I'm pretty breathless, but congratulations to Infused. They have gone through, along with Choke, from Group A, qualified for MCM. They will be very happy with that result, I believe, and think they much needed result, I think, after some sections. But wow, absolutely fantastic. And I've got to give it to all of Infused. They played their hearts out. So many clutch back and forth team fights. Nothing was definitive until those last moments. The last dragon definitely secured it out for them. That turret went down so quickly at the end, and that team fight was so amazing. And I think my defining play was the Wawa over the wall into that winning team fight. That was the fight so where
all I said was Wawa.
Yeah.
The entire fight.
It was so good.
Amazing.
It was brilliant. But
holy moly.
This has been brilliant, guys. And if you want to store these memories, remember SanDisk can always store those memories for you on those fantastic SanDisk memory drives. And if you ever want to view those memories again, load them up onto your AOC monitors.
AOC monitors is the way to
and
go,
make sure you go and check out MCM Comic Con. It's all on the web. If you type it into Google, you can get tickets. Remember, there's not just League of Legends going on at MCM Comic Con. There's a whole host of things, and cosplay, comics, all people turning up and signing things. If you like it, all that kind of stuff, MCM is the place to be.
But amazing.
For now, guys, from here, ESL UK Group A qualifiers have been finished, and it is going to be Choke and Infused going through. I have been Xscoundrel. I've been here with Sona, and what a game to end on. What a game to end on after a thrilling set of 4 games today.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been amazing. Tune in next week when we'll be bringing the likes of FM eSports, Divine eSports,
XL eSports, and Lincoln University.
It's going to be amazing. Lincoln Grey University will be playing there. My breath is gone, my voice is gone. It's been 2 amazing days of action here at the ESL studios, and thank you very much for watching, guys. Tune in next time.